It was 1780, and the Revolutionary War was raging. A small group of earnest Christians gathered to pray and worship in each other's homes. With such a simple act, they could not have known that they were making history. But together, they established the Presbyterian Congregation in Georgetown, which stands today as the oldest church in our nation's capital with a continuous ministry. What keeps a church thriving for more than 200 years? Woven into the very fabric of this church, and still its hallmark today, is a rich heritage of inspired preaching and magnificent music that glorify God. Mission work that changes the lives of givers and receivers alike, and enriching fellowship sustained by shared worship. Since before our nation was founded, Georgetown Presbyterian Church has offered a vibrant religious home. Those who worship here today step into the stream of history that has included presidents, paupers, and everyone in between. The church's first minister, Stephen Bloomer Balch, was so highly regarded as a scholar that George Washington asked him to personally educate Washington's two nephews at Columbia Academy, a school Balch had founded. A Princeton graduate and a captain in the Revolutionary Army, Balch was instrumental in the city's cultural and spiritual growth. While serving as minister at Georgetown, he also helped start several other nearby churches. In so doing, Dr. Balch launched a tradition of outreach that continued with the support of additional churches in the 1800s, and mission work that remains at the heart of the church's culture today. The first church building was located at the southwest corner of Bridge and Washington Streets, now 30th and M. Thomas Jefferson gave $75 to the first capital campaign to expand the building. President Jefferson also signed the Act of Congress that granted the church its charter in 1806. When a new, larger building was needed, celebrated architect William Archer was hired to design it. Archer's credentials were impressive. He had recently helped to restore the White House after it had been destroyed by fire during the War of 1812. In 1821, President James Monroe laid the cornerstone of the new church Archer had designed. Throughout its history, the church and its leaders have served God and the nation. During the Civil War, the Bridge Street Church became a makeshift hospital, and the ladies of the church provided linens and personal supplies for hundreds of soldiers, both Union and Confederate. After the war, the building was moved to its present location on P Street, with President Ulysses S. Grant laying the cornerstone. The church's seal, designed by the director of the U.S. Mint, was placed outside on the church's front wall and on the pulpit itself. The seal, with an open Bible in the center, symbolizes the central importance of the Word of God. In the 1950s, Dr. Russell Straub, a gifted preacher, led a building restoration program that gave us our present-day church, including the powerful Aeolian Skinner organ that anchors the church's renowned music program. Dr. Balch's historic legacy of helping others carried forward into mission work in the 1960s, which included working with another local church to rehabilitate housing for lower-income D.C. residents. In the 70s, the church helped to resettle refugees from Vietnam, including a family who lived in the building while parishioners helped them find housing and employment. Currently, we support the Georgetown Ministry Center, which provides emergency services to the homeless, and we host a floating shelter during winter months. And a community in Uganda has the church to thank for school supplies, solar power, and many other necessities. The members of our church community come from all over the metropolitan area. They come for the renowned preaching and for the extraordinary music. They come for the strong religious education program, the rich opportunities for service, the vibrant fellowship and sense of community, and the church's storied history. Whatever it is that draws people to Georgetown Presbyterian Church, here they find a spiritual home with much to offer. A place where, in the words of Stephen Bloomer Balch, they can worship the true and living God. A church that has carried forward through the centuries the promise of its founders, to hear the Word of God and to serve and glorify Him. With God's continued blessing, this proud heritage will also be a rich legacy for countless generations yet to come.